In this section, we will introduce MongoDB. We will get MongoDB up and running in our environment, and we will then insert some data into MongoDB, then be able to query that data and take the query results and inject them onto our web pages. So let's go ahead and get this going. Up to this point, we've been working with hard-coded data in our application. In our event routes.js file, we have hard-coded events data, and that's not a good thing. That's not very flexible. So we need to add a database. We'll add MongoDB. MongoDB is an extremely popular NoSQL database. It's part of the mean stack. So working with Node and MongoDB is completely natural, and we can add that into our project now. The nice thing about working in Cloud9 is that MongoDB is available for us by default, and we can get MongoDB up and running very, very simply. Let's open a new terminal and give ourselves a little bit more space to work in. The nice thing about having MongoDB available by default is that we don't have to download it and install it and all of the other things to get it going. It's just there for us. We can just start the server, and the command that we use to do that is MongoD, which is the command to start the MongoDB server. And then we need to give it a couple of arguments because we're in Cloud9. MongoD, and the first command is --bind_IP equals $IP. Now the $IP is a global that Cloud9 gives us, and we are binding that global IP address to our MongoDB instance. It's just so it works in Cloud9. And the second one is --. No journal. What that means is we're turning off journaling in MongoDB. MongoDB and most other databases will have a journaling feature, which is basically a log file of all the activity on the database. And that log file can be used for performance reasons and also for disaster recovery should something happen to the database. However, because we're in Cloud9, we have limited resources in the environment and in the virtual machine that our Cloud9 instance is running in, which is our IDE, and when we run our application, we do have limited resources, so we turn journaling off because it is kind of a resource hog, and that's okay. We just simply have MongoD running much more efficiently with no journaling. We can think of it that way. We can hit the enter key to get this going. The last line reads, waiting for connections on port 27017. That means that it is running fine, and it's waiting for us to start using it. Thanks, MongoDB. And the next step in working with MongoDB is to use the Mongo shell, and we want to open another new terminal. The command to fire up the shell is mongo. And it tells us the shell version that we're in, 2.6.11. We can see the little greater than sign at the command line, and that means we are in the shell. We can get a little information from MongoDB by typing db. It tells us that we are in the test database. db command says to Mongo, which database am I using? And we are currently in the test database. And that is exactly what should happen by default with Mongo. Because we are working with MongoDB in a Node project, we need to install the MongoDB package into our project. So let's do yet another terminal and change to our project home directory. And we'll do an npm install MongoDB, -- save. And npm pulls it down for us, gets us installed. Let's take a look in our package.json directory to make sure that we are all set up. Sure enough, here is MongoDB version 2.1.7. Excellent. We are installed. We've got MongoDB server running. We're ready to add some code to our project and start utilizing the database.